Thank you. So I'm very happy to be a mentor in your project. So I was also previous project a mentor. So it's very valuable project, and as Last already said, it's not that just we learn, share experience and knowledge with mentees. We also learn from mentees, and it's very valuable for us. My name is Sanela, and I'm a KLIK Energy Cooperative, a small citizens established energy cooperative in the town of Krizevci in Croatia. We are now almost 4 years here in our local community. During the presentation, I will sometimes say we as this, because I was working in Green Energy Cooperative when we implemented the project I will talk about, but sometimes we is stated for the city of Krizevci. So, but I will just tell you some facts about the Krizevci. Some general information. Krizevci covers a wide administrative territorial area in northwestern Croatia, with also 59 villages, and with less than 20,000 inhabitants. We are very rural area, as you can see, but we have a great geographic location and also favorable climate, and mostly in our local community we have small and medium enterprises in retail, metal industry, construction, and woodworking industry, but also a lot of family farmers and small businesses in agriculture. As for energy, our setup is stating that we are emitting 38,000 tons CO2 yearly, mostly from traffic, as I think every city. But especially because as a small rural area, we don't have a public transport in our town. We have just a regional public transport. So also, the way we are living today forces us to have a few cars in a family. But we also are a very, very old town, more than 700 years. We have buildings that are like 150 years old. Most of the houses were built in 1950s, 60s, 70s. So it's the right moment for renewal. And there is actually a lot of interest now, as our national fund is subsidizing energy renewal. So a lot of our citizens want to renew their homes. As every city, I would say, in Croatia, but in also other European states, we are doing some energy projects in the last 10 years, as energy renovation public buildings using biomass for thermal heating, charging stations for electrical vehicles, etc. But what differs Krizevci from other cities is this project I will tell you about, the innovative way they used citizens to fund a public project. So Krizevci Sunny Roof is a project of implementing 2 solar power plants on public buildings that are used by public institutions and financed by the citizens. The project was implemented 6 years ago, and we have 2 public buildings, 2 public institutions, as already said. Municipality as enabler, because they are owner of the buildings and institutions in it. We have ZES, Green Energy Cooperative, that developed project and was leading the project. And we have 2 solar power plants, each 30 kilowatts, and crowdfunding campaign to get the microloans. But it was also very important to involve lots of stakeholders. So we have Greenpeace, Krizevci Entrepreneurial Center, Public Library, Regional Agency, Energy Agency North, Energy Cities, RESCOP, other public institutions in Krizevci, citizens, but also media. So it was very important to have this support from the local, regional, national, but also European level, and that that gave the security to citizens to invest in the project. So we had the website like similar to a crowdfunding platform, but it was actually a website to just ease the promotion and automate the process. I think that also it is very important to say that in this time we didn't have any regulation on crowdfunding. So today you cannot have like your own platform if it is not approved by the on the European level. So we didn't have any crowdfunding regulations on it, so we were in like no one knew what is actually possible. So we also talked with the financial agency, with the Minister of Finance, and they didn't know what to say, and they didn't want to be official. So in the end, what they said unofficially is, if it's not forbidden, you can do it. And so we have done some mix for the project. So how this is working? Zez, as a cooperative project owner, so they develop the project, and they are owner of the solar power plants, and they used microloans from citizens to finance the power plants on the public buildings. They have then lease agreement with the users of the buildings. That means public library and Krizevci Entrepreneurial Center, which are paying a rent for using the equipment. We said it's like not using the electricity because we cannot sell electricity, so it's using the equipment on the roof. And the rent is in the amount of predicted energy savings from the solar energy that will be produced on the solar power plants. And then they are paying this rent on monthly basis. So that has this stability that they can see if there's some problems with repaying with the paying of the rent, so that they can react on time, because they are repaying the loans to citizens in annually basis. So they have this period where they can see if there's some problems, they can react on time to have the money to repay to investors. So what was the role of the municipality in the project? Well, they enabled the project. They gave permission to this to install the power plants on their buildings. They also gave public support for the project, and they were actively involved in the promotion of the project. But they also took over the payment if the user is not able to pay their rent, because city owns the user and the building, and after 10 years solar power plants will go in the ownership of the city. So it was like normally for them to pay if something goes wrong, let's say. So we have Development Center Technological Park, a new building that was built for Krizevci Entrepreneurial Center. It is office building and meeting building. We have also now a big conference venue space there. So for the investment of 30,000 euros, we needed 10 days for 52 investors to invest in the project to collect this money. So minimal investment was 135 euros and maximum 1,350 euros, because we also talked about how we should do this, and we decided to have minimum and maximum because we wanted as much as possible investors to have in the project, not just for one to come and say, I have all the money, I will pay it. So it was actually a possibility to as much as possible citizens to invest in the project. Average investment was more than 500 euros. And that was all, I would say, surprising for us, because we were very skeptical how the citizens will react to the project and everything. But we had 4.5% of interest rate, in these 10 years, they will earn 4.5% on their investment. And Krizevci Independent Center is paying for 100 euros monthly for this rent, so that is their energy saving in the project. For the city library, we only needed 2 days to collect the money. We had 40 investors. The minimum and maximum amount were the same. The investment was a little bit lower because it's just different constructions, and it was 1 year after, so the prices also went down a little bit, and their investment was also a little bit higher than in the first project, but there was a 3% of the interest rate because as in development center, they are using 90% of the energy produced from the solar power plants, and the public library is using 72%. So that was the difference, also the different interest rate. They are paying 296 euro monthly. I forgot to say that these rents are fixed, so they are not dynamic. So through 10 years, they will always pay this monthly rent. For this was like easier because they don't need to monitor what's happening with the electricity prices and everything. For users, it's also it was a great now with these distortions on the market because they didn't feel it because they had this fixed rate. But if it would be dynamic, for this would be better because they could repay it sooner the contract and the loans to citizens. So why was this a success? Because I think the key in this project was to this community engagement, because we connected everyone from the local, regional, national, European level. Everyone was giving the support, but also in local community, all association, organizations, stakeholders, public institutions, everyone was involved in it. Everyone promoted the project. It was like it was a good vibe around the project. At the end, it was a great promotion for the municipality. Our mayor was newly elected 1 year before the project, so it was very good for him to promote, to also now after the project energy policies were his main politics. He also promoted himself, and he has now his way also in the energy transition. Krizevci is recognized as the first city in Croatia that wants to be energy independent, that includes citizens in it. So it's actually good for the city, for municipality, for him also. Everyone got something from it. It also opened the door for participation in several new projects as for the city of Krizevci, but also for this. There are also lots of new partnerships based on the project, and it also gave us, for citizens, a will to establish our own local community, energy cooperative, and that is how the KLIK was established. So 2 years after the project, we established a Citizens Energy Cooperative, which is mostly focused on households to help them to implement solar power plants on their households, because they need help. Before we established KLIK, no one knew how to implement a solar power plant on their household. What is the first step? Who is the project designer? Who is implementing the project? What to do? So we gathered all the information. We talked with the local project designers. We'll help them with the administrations to citizens, and now 3 years after, we have like more than 1 megawatt of designed solar power plants for household, more than 500 is already built. City is giving also subsidies to households for implementing the projects, and we have now like 200 households in the city in 3 years that are producing their own energy and using it. So the project, it was not just public buildings and producing there and using energy and citizens to invest. It's a whole wider picture, because now we have also households that are more interested to produce energy, and it gave us like we are now driving the energy transition in full in our city. We established also energy and climate office as a info point for citizens to get all the information. We have lots of partnerships with a lot of firms that are in the sustainable topics, not just solars. We are also helping them in a lot of new projects, but we also now working on energy renovation, not just solars. We learned something with solars, and now we are developing this service for whole energy renovation. So we are now helping citizens to apply for national funds to get 60% of investments on their energy renewal in their houses. I'm sure I forgot something to say, but that's why you will have time to ask me. I presented this project a lot of time, and sometimes you need to hear it 2 or 3 times about it to get all the information in the right place. We took part of ESCO services, part of crowdfunding, part of I would say also a power purchase agreement, because you have a fixed rate that you are paying for your electricity. But as Vlasta said, ESCO is not so favorable in our countries. There is a lot of missing technical expertise. We can see also in this project there's no actually monitoring, because you have this fixed rent, and now no one is actually monitoring, and there's lack of maintenance in the project, and that's are now some things that we need to improve in the process. We have 6 years behind us. Everyone is paying what they need to pay. So citizens are very happy because they are having their money back. They are earning some money, but maybe we are missing this component, how to use this money in a community, maybe for some energy poverty project or something. But this was a project that we just wanted to trigger the citizens to invest, to show them that they can invest in something, that this is not just for the big players. And the next step is now to create some social advantages of investing in such a projects, to use part of the earnings for social projects in a local community. After the 10 years, the city will get the power plants. They will have free energy for 20-25 years, and they can use this money for some purposes for the community. So maybe now you can see, like, okay, what's the social component in the project, because here just citizens are earning money, they are not giving it back to the community. But when you see that this also triggered the households to have solar power plants to produce their own energy, we have then almost €1 million investment in our local community, because now with these household solar power plants, local project designers are working on it. Local companies are implementing, installing solar power plants on the household. So the money is staying in the local community and local economy.